Hello friends, welcome to the session on role of sensors in Internet of Things. In the world of IoT, at the heart of IoT are sensors. Sensors have two roles to perform. They sense and they communicate. So when you're designing an IoT solution and you're choosing a sensor, you have to choose sensors that can not only sense what you want but are in a great position to communicate that data to the cloud system. To summarize, sensors are at the heart of IoT, and sensors should be able not only to sense but also to communicate. Let us try and see the first role that the sensor plays, that is, sensing. A sensor can sense many things. If we look at the phone that we possess, the phone itself has a lot of sensors. There is a proximity sensor. There is an accelerometer. There is a vibration sensor, and so on. There are sensors fitted into lamps that can adjust their color and intensity based on the outside light luminosity. There are animals like cows who have sensors and they transmit the health of the cow back to the cloud for analysis. You can have a room with temperature sensors and a thermostat that can adjust itself to a specific temperature depending upon how the temperature fluctuates. This is the first role of sensor, that is to sense, and it can do that through various mechanisms and through various different types of sensors. The second role of a sensor is to communicate. As a sensor, the sensor will keep generating data. Now, what happens to this data? This data needs to be sent to the cloud. And how does that happen? The sensor does not have the capacity or the capability to talk directly with the cloud. So what do? You associate that sensor with the communication module. So the sensor connects to an object and captures the data. This data needs to be sent to the cloud, but it is sent to the cloud through this communication device. This communication device works either on Wi-Fi or on a GSM module or any other networking technique. But this communication module is responsible to take the sensor data and send it to the cloud. So when you're choosing a sensor for an IoT project or an IoT solution, definitely look at its capacity to sense. Look at the data sheet of what the sensor can do, but also see what kind of communication module you would need to send this captured data to the cloud. Thus, sensing and communicating the data is very essential when discussing and designing a sensor solution. Let us look at some of the use cases of sensors in the real world. The most common example is home automation. It is believed that in the US, each house has a minimum of 15 to 20 sensor-based applications. They include the light sensing devices, the windows and the door controls, the HVAC or the air conditioning control, the lighting control, the pet feeders, the automatic drapes, the automatic watering systems, the mailbox sensors, the driveway sensors, security, the lawn moisture, motion sensors, car sensors, smartphone sensors, and so on. Thus, it is fair to assume that the sensors have penetrated the developed countries. What remains to see is how much of that penetration is valid for the emerging or for the underdeveloped economies of the world. The next use case that I'm going to talk about is about the use of sensors in cars. Cars have had sensors for a long time. The airbag is an excellent example of a sensor. As soon as there is an impact, the airbag does its role and saves the driver and the co-passenger from injury. But when we speak of connected cars, there is a big difference to what the sensors are doing today and what the sensors will be doing in this world of connected cars. Today, all the sensors and the way the car reacts to the sensors is all within the environment of the car. But in the world of connected car, the sensors will be transmitting data to the cloud, and the cloud will be overseeing this car along with all the other cars. So the car responds not only to what's happening inside the car, but also what's happening outside the car. That's the basic fundamental difference of the connected car and the sensor-based cars that we use today. Let me explain to you how some of these sensors work. The car has a lot of sensors in. The brake sensor, the speed sensor, the seat belt sensor, the impact sensor, engine sensor, the throttle sensor, and so on. For an insurance company, these sensors play a vital role. Today, an insurance company, that is a motor insurance company, looks at the damage the car has undergone in terms of an accident. There is a lot of assumptions that the vehicle inspectors make, and finally a claim is approved or rejected or partially approved. Imagine if there are sensors in a car and the car meets an accident. It will be as if the sensors will tell a story to the insurance company. The impact sensor will say what happened. The engine sensor will say the extent of damage that happened. All the sensors combined will tell a story to the insurance company. The insurance company will not need to make any assumptions. They will be able to recreate the exact scenario in which the accident took place. Thus, sensors in the field of connected cars will be doing a big transformation to the world of motor insurance. Insurance companies thus love sensors in the car. It makes their jobs easier. In fact, the insurance company has gone a few steps ahead and they are using sensors to give individual premiums for drivers. So far, people are paying a similar premium based on their age and some of their health factors. However, their driving behavior is not considered while deciding the premium. In fact, the driving behavior is the most crucial parameter for deciding the motor insurance, but it has not been taken into consideration yet. What the sensors do? The sensors track the entire behavior of the driver in the car and they create a driver profile. And as soon as the driver profile is created, it is easier for insurance companies to derive the individual premium for each driver. So if you have a safe driver, like I am, or I like to think that I'm a safe driver, I will pay a lower insurance premium than maybe somebody who's young, somebody who likes the thrill and drives a little rash. Again, depending upon the driver profile and not on the age or the characteristic of the person, individual motor premiums will be decided. This is a big disruptive transformation for the insurance industry. And not just the insurance industry, even the life insurance industry is working with Fitbits and other health related devices to decide on individual health or life insurance premiums that people will have to pay. Thus, the insurance industry is undergoing a major change because of use of sensors. To conclude, sensors are at the heart of IoT. You need the smack stack to derive the insights, but you need the sensors to generate data. And sensors indeed play a huge role in designing a great IoT solution.